Sioux County Guitar Ensemble.
The wheel of the year returns us to this time of long dark, to this time of winter holiday, and to the hope that humans have celebrated in this season from time out of mind. Hope that we find in a birth long ago. Hope that we'd rediscover again and again in the words that child spoke when he grew. Hope that invites us to rise and to follow, and to bring love to life in our world. I'm Reverend Bill Sinkford. My pronouns are he and him. Welcome, everyone, to this diverse, spirit-growing, justice-seeking, beloved community of all souls. Each week, we light our chalice, kindling the flame of community once again. We light this chalice in faith, in hope, and in love.
Good morning, All Souls.
Good morning.
I'm Lori Carafone. My pronouns are she, her, and I'm your worship associate this morning. I'd like to extend a special welcome this morning to those of you who are new to All Souls. If you're visiting us for the first time or still feel new here, please raise your hand in person or on Zoom so that we can give you an All Souls welcome. Are there any visitors? If you are in the sanctuary, the order of service can be accessed by the QR code located in the back of the pew in front of you. Select the code to the right, or you may request a printed program from an usher where there is a QR code. For those on Zoom, a link to the order of service is in the chat. Our weekly email newsletter is a great way to stay up to date on all upcoming offerings of the church community. If you are not currently subscribed, sign up through the link on the All Souls website homepage. A link should also be in the Zoom chat. All Souls recognizes that our city and our church were built on lands taken from Indigenous people. We lament this injustice. The closest village to our church site was Nacotchtank, from which the name Anacostia is derived. The residents were part of the Piscataway group of tribes present in the DC and Maryland region. Those peoples remain in the region to this day. If you're joining us from further away, I encourage you to research the native people of the land where you reside. And for all of us who aren't native to this land, one way to practice our commitment to the eighth principle is to find out what native organizing is happening in your area and how you can support it. Now is the time we call beholding. If you're on Zoom, open your gallery screen and greet each other. We can even now see you in the sanctuary. Let's turn and wave to our congregants and visitors on Zoom. If you are in the sanctuary, please greet each other in the manner that feels safest to you, with an embrace, a fist bump, or an elbow bump. Okay. Okay, thank you, everyone. Let's continue our conversations and greetings after the service. And again, welcome to All Souls Church. So a few months ago, I signed the All Souls membership book. It happened to be my birthday. I had been coming to All Souls intermittently for several years, sometimes for services, adult learning courses, READ project postcarding. But during those several years, though I loved coming on Sunday, quite often there was something that came up. Family, friends, work, a perpetual feeling of inadequacy manifesting in the form of a month of unfolded laundry. Funny enough, it was COVID that made it easy for me to fold and listen. And I would often feel tears streaming down, and I would stop. I would let myself stop the fixing and the doing and just be still. Do you ever feel the moment of a deepest longing filled? For me, it's holding my husband and my child's hand at the same time. It's the ocean, and it's breathing into the stillness of this sacred community that is not afraid to rise up for justice and recognize that strength is tenderness. I knew I needed to commit with intentionality to this place. On the day I signed the membership book, I doubled my pledge because I am able to do so, and I really believe in this beloved community. And I know that just like the most important justice issues of our time, this place simply can't survive on thoughts and prayers alone. Starting this December, All Souls now has a share the plate approach to our Sunday collection. This means that a different recipient organization will be featured for 1 month with a 50-50 split of all non-pledge contributions from each of the weekly offerings. You can read more about it in the plan in the order of service. Our December recipient is Miriam's Kitchen, a local Washington, D.C. organization focused on ending chronic homelessness through both direct support and advocacy. They do critical work in the neighborhood and across the city. If you're joining us through Zoom, the link in the chat will take you to our donation page. If you're in the sanctuary, you can use the QR code on the back of the pew in front of you. We encourage you to give generously in support of Miriam's Kitchen, as well as to support the ongoing mission and ministries of All Souls.
Hither, page, and stand by me, if thou know'st it telling. Yonder peasant, who is he? Where and what his dwelling?
There he lives a goodly hence, underneath the mountain, right against the forest fence.
pine logs hither. Thou and I will see him dine when we bear them thither.
Sire, the night is darker now, and the wind grows stronger. Fails my heart, I know not how. I can go no longer.
Mark my footsteps, my good page, tread thou in them boldly. Thou shalt find the winter's rage flees thy blood less coldly.
Good morning, All Souls. The Christmas holidays officially begin here at All Souls this morning. The pageant is coming. The tree is all trimmed. After this service, you can check out the Holiday Arts and Crafts Sale made by UU in Pierce Hall. Or if you brought cookies this morning, the Intergenerational Cookie Exchange will be upstairs in the Tupper Room. Happy holidays. All Souls continues our efforts toward bringing transformative justice into our community culture. A community of practice will meet several times during early 2023 with our transformative justice consultants as a core part of this work. If you're interested in joining or would just like to know more, please join us in the library at 12 p.m. today for conversation with our consultants. If you're interested in this work but cannot meet today, please email M. Morrison from the consulting team by December 16th. Her email address is in the order of service and in the chat. I expect that many of us were elated when Reverend Raphael Warnock won the race for Senate in Georgia. Elated if for no other reason than because it means the 2022 elections are finally over. Speaking at Ebenezer Baptist in Atlanta this past Sunday, Reverend Warnock, Senator Warnock, specifically mentioned Unitarian civil rights workers and martyrs Viola Liuzzo and Reverend James Reeb in a sermon about the importance of every person taking up the challenge of working for justice. The Reeb Project for Voting Rights has great news to share about our work in these last few months to continue that legacy. For 2022, the National UU The Vote established what they called Good Trouble Goals, goals to help congregations measure their impact. Our Reeb Project leaders set most of our goals higher than the required ones, and I'm thrilled to say that we exceeded each and every one of them. Here are our final numbers for getting out the vote. For postcards, 15,000 was the goal. We sent out 23,000. For text messages, the Good Trouble goal was 150,000. We sent twice that many, 300,000. For volunteers, the Good Trouble goal was 2 and Reeb had 10. And for volunteers overall, the Good Trouble goal was 150. The Reeb Project engaged 220 people. The REAP project will continue on into 2023, including working for statewide elections in Virginia. But for now, are there any of the volunteers for the REAP project here with us this morning? Would you raise your hands if you're here? Let's give them a particular round of applause. This is the time when we turn now from announcements to hold the joys and sorrows of members of the All Souls community. We are holding Lydia Mosier this morning as she grieves the death of her beloved aunt, Geraldine Berry, who died in her sleep in Detroit, Michigan on Thursday. Geraldine was 101 years old. We hold Lydia and all those who knew and loved Geraldine in our hearts. And on this day, when we begin the celebration of that birth so long ago, there is a sorrow to name among us. Brian and Priya Cook are holding the memory of their nephew, Leo Whitstruck Varghese, who was stillborn 1 year ago tomorrow. We send our love and care to them, to his parents, and to all those among us carrying the grief and loss of stillbirth, which still affects 1 in 175 births in this developed country. And as we hold all of life in this sanctuary, both death and birth, some of you may remember seeing Claire Smither Wilson in church last week. She was due to deliver in just 3 weeks then. Well, she went to the hospital for a checkup Sunday afternoon and, ahead of schedule, gave birth that evening. Everybody is well, and I don't know, are the Wilsons here this morning? They were going to try to make it. I don't see them. Let's all send our heartfelt best wishes and welcome to Theodora Catherine Smither Wilson, the newest member of the All Souls community. I now invite you to speak the names of those you are holding in your hearts this morning into the silence. Or on Zoom, you can place those names in the chat. We hold all of those names and all of the names that remain unspoken, held within. Will you pray with me now? Spirit of life and of love, great mystery at the heart of things, dear God, the dark of this season invites us into presence. Presence to the magic and the miracle of birth, presence to the sad miracle of death. We live between the two, between unknown and unknown. The time between we often call life, but life holds it all. Life is the whole cycle. That cycle repeated again and again. That cycle repeated in hope. The cycle of life. The Spirit of life calls us to know loss, but also to welcome the blessing of new life. Life giving way to new life. We grieve each loss, even the loss of those lives that end before their beginning. We will never know the blessing they would have brought or the hope they might have helped us know. But most, we open our hearts in awe of the miracle of life itself. We share our wonder for the whole cycle in which we have our part. And we gather in gratitude for the blessings each life brings to this world, the blessings our lives bring to this world. And we offer our thanks and praise for the blessing of life itself. Ashe and Amen. Long ago, in Bethlehem of Judea, a babe called Jesus was born in a stable low. The story of his birth has been told and retold for generations, yet the story remains forever new, ever able to kindle hope in a troubled world. We tell the Christmas story to celebrate that special child, Jesus, whose message of peace and compassion may yet redeem the world. And we tell it to celebrate all children, for we believe that each child born is a child of God, and that every child born into our broken world has the potential to become a redeemer.
Unitarian Universalist activist and religious educator Sophia Lyon-Fawes famously stated that each night a child is born is a holy night. No angels herald their beginnings. No prophets predict their future courses. No wise men see a star to show where to find the babe that will save humankind. Yet each night a child is born is a holy night.
Let us now prepare our hearts to hear that story anew.
All began when the angel Gabriel appeared to Mary, the wife of the carpenter, Joseph of Nazareth, with news from God.
Do not be afraid, for you have found favor with God. And behold, you will conceive and bear a son, and you shall call his name Jesus. He will be a great leader and peacemaker, and will be called Son of Most High.
Let it be me according to your word.
And it came to pass in those days that there went out a decree from the emperor, Caesar Augustus, that all the world should be taxed. So everyone had to return to the city of their birth to be counted. Mary and Joseph had to travel a long way from Nazareth, where they lived, to the town of Bethlehem. By this time, the angel's message had come true, and Mary was due to give birth any day now. But they set out from Nazareth anyway and began their journey, hoping to find a place where they could spend the night. However, when they got to Bethlehem, there were so many people in the city for the census that they couldn't find a place to stay. There was no room in the inn.
Good evening. We just got here from Nazareth and we're looking for a place to stay.
So they had to continue their journey. Now it was getting dark and chilly. And Joseph was getting worried. If it was just him, he could camp outside for the night. But there was Mary, about to give birth. So they tried again.
You just put out the no vacancy sign. Oh, there's a house up ahead.
Yeah. Hi. I know. It's late, and I'm sorry to disturb you. But we've been traveling for so long. My wife's about to have a baby.
Though their inn was full, the innkeeper had a stable and offered it to the little family. They helped Mary and Joseph settle in and prepare to welcome the new babe.
And there were in the same country shepherds abiding in the field, keeping watch over their flock by night. And the angel of the Lord came upon them, and they were sore afraid. But she said unto them,
Behold, I bring you. Behold, I bring you tidings of great joy, which shall be to all people. For unto you is born this day a Savior. And this shall be a sign unto you. Ye shall find the babe wrapped in swaddling clothes and laying in the manger.
Before anyone else arrived, the animals were there to welcome the new baby.
My brother kind and good was humbly born in stable rude, and the friendly beasts around him stood. Jesus, our brother kind and good. I said the camel, shaggy and brown. I carried his mother up and down. I carried his mother to Bethlehem town. I said the camel, shaggy and brown. I said the cow, all white and red. I carried my manger for his bed. I gave him my hay to pillow his head. I said the cow, all white and red. I said the sheep with curly horn. I gave him my wool for his blanket warm. I gave him my hay for Christmas morn. I said the sheep with curly horn. I said the dove from the rafters high. I cooed him to sleep so he would not cry. We cooed him to sleep, my maid and I. I said the dove from rafters high. Thus all the beasts by some good spell in stable dark were glad to tell of the gifts they gave Emmanuel. The gifts they gave Emmanuel.
After the animals had shared their gifts, the news of the baby's birth spread quickly. It was shouted from the mountaintops, and soon other visitors began to appear. First the shepherds, then the townspeople, and finally the multitude of angels to sing at his bed.
that blessed Christmas morn.
There were in the east 3 wise ones who heard of the holy birth and following a star traveled from the ends of the earth to meet the new babe. And lo, the star which the wise ones had seen came to rest over the place where the child was born, causing them all to rejoice. When they came to the stable and saw the babe, they fell down and worshiped him. They presented unto him gifts of gold, frankincense, and myrrh.
And behold, the multitude came to see the child, and cherubs to hover about his manger bed.
Friends, may the babe from long ago and the children of tomorrow bring us hope and joy this Christmas season, and for their sake may we all labor to build a more peaceful and a more just world, so that one day both heaven and nature may sing again. Joy to the world.
As you go on this season, go in peace, practice love. Amen.